last thing I had to do for Disney was a thing called Friends for Change Games, where they got every Disney Channel kid to a camp in Simi Valley where we played these like Survivor-esque games.
Friends for Change games.
For charity money for certain organizations. But I mean, you know, I'll be honest, it was all rigged. Like it was all scripted.
Welcome to I Love You So Much. My name is Reed Fish. I'm here with my good friend Tyler Labine.
Hi, everybody.
Tyler.
Hi. I'm here again. Surprise, surprise.
Perfect. We're two divorced dads getting better.
Hopefully. Trying.
One episode at a time.
Yeah, one episode at a time, day by day.
And this episode, we have Logan Miller here. Logan, thank you very much.
I'm neither a dad nor divorced.
No.
Perfect.
I love being
not
here.
a requirement.
But you're helping us get better. That's the whole thing.
Awesome,
And one of the things we do to get better is we start every episode with confessions. So you're gonna need one, Logan. So we'll give you a few minutes to think of one though while we espouse on ours.
Yeah, we'll see if we can inspire you.
Yeah,
Tyler, your confessions have been coming in hot lately. So
I've been having this like real shedding of like these kind of totally surface level bullshitty lifelong lies, which are, like I've said, I've been born from this deep insecurity, or like I want people to think I'm cooler than I am or whatever.
Yeah.
This one stings to admit, but I'm going to do it anyway. I have a lot of tattoos, and the first 3 that I got, I have this big clown on my back, I have Bruce Lee on my leg, and I have this like kind of odd caricature on my shoulder right here.
Come on.
Which I've been asked about a lot, you know. And so this is how it started. I got this big tattoo on my back, the first one. It's this big clown. My art teacher in grade 11, I'm Canadian, we say grade 11.
Yep.
He said, I want you to paint or draw your biggest fear, and you can use whatever you want for inspiration. And I painted this crazy clown. But I got the clown from the cover of a Infectious Grooves album. It's there. You can go look it up. We can do it on. It's. I can't remember what the name of the album is, but he's in the bottom corner. It looks a little different. But I told everybody my entire life that I created, that it's my design.
Right.
Bruce Lee, I got out of a skateboard magazine, and it was in a Lipton Brisk iced tea ad, and I told everyone that I designed that. This, my friend Ian designed this tattoo, and I told everybody that I designed it.
Wow.
I did paint this one. It's more mine than the actual design, but like it got me this attention that people were like, oh, you drew this tattoo, you paint, and then it became a thing where I think I wanted my tattoos to mean more than they did. You know, where I was like, I would never just put something
from a Lipton Brisk
iced tea ad on my body forever.
Yeah.
And I started telling people I designed them, and this one was partially true as well. It was a drawing from my friend Ian. He put it on this little piece of paper, and I redrew it just one day, kind of my own rendition of it, and I ended up getting that one tattooed, but it's really his design.
Right. Wow.
But think about it too, like you're the probably only human being that has a Lipton iced tea ad on one's leg.
It's true. I just omitted the Lipton and the iced tea
He's
part.
the yin yang, or the dragon.
There's some Chinese writing or tribal.
I'm looking for a Lipton iced tea ad.
Yeah, I'm just.
I can show this one.
Come on, take it off. There we go.
He's a little faded.
Yeah,
little.
So my confessions. I didn't think I would ever tell anybody that. Because it was kind of like,
audience.
What's the point? And again, I haven't told that lie in a long time, but I have told many people in my life that are still in my life that probably under the misconception that I designed my tattoos, or they were always kind of like, okay, Tyler. That's the other thing about a lot of these lies. Some people think like, I think I've had them all fooled, but some people are probably like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would believe it, I guess. Like,
now you know.
And I don't believe it.
And
so.
I apologize to everybody who I lied to about that. And I want to express again that it's like, it's just that feeling of I'm not enough. Right. I wasn't enough. It wasn't cool enough that I got a tattoo in 1995 when it wasn't even cool to get tattoos.
Right.
I had to take it another step further to be like, hey, I designed it. And then it just kind of spiraled into this thing where I just felt like if I didn't do that.
But it kind of falls into the exaggeration
for
level,
sure,
right?
For sure.
Rather than the flat out lies.
I
think all these things that you're really copping to, have been things that there's a grain of truth.
Yeah.
Maybe not the skateboarding one.
Well, I did skateboard a ton and I wanted to be a skateboarder, but
yeah.
they're definitely like I said, they're little splintery white lies that just sit in a place in me now where I've gotten so honest about all the big things where I'm like,
yeah. And this
hold on to that for man. Like, I designed my tattoos. Like,
this almost feels like you're still making amends like out of the program. Like, where you're like kind of talking about things that were a long time ago that
it's
probably don't matter anymore.
Yeah, it's a living amends. And I'm not, you're never out of the program, unless you actively are like, I denounce Bill.
Right.
But it's
that's what I mean. You're still doing it. You're still taking that step.
Yeah. So that's my confession.
Okay, cool. All right.
Here's yes for hearing that.
Love it.
Mine is not so dramatic, but it's really confessing to not showing up for some friends in the way that I want to show up.
Okay.
And meaning mostly just about being good with communication with them. Like I have my birthday was a few weeks ago, and
52.
I 52. Thanks. And I still have
25.
Yeah. If you flip it, it is. I still have texts that I haven't responded back to, and that were not just happy birthday. It was just and I still haven't responded. And I meant to, but if I don't respond to the text within the first 10 minutes, then it can take me days or weeks to respond. I kind of want to get to a point where if a friend of mine is taking the time to reach out to me, especially on my birthday, to write them back. And that is, and it's not just about texts, it is about kind of the bigger thing is I'm not always so good at keeping contact with the people that I care about.
Yeah.
And I can let friendships kind of wither and fallow away and go fallow because I feel like, I guess they're not necessarily hitting me up either, but like, I don't feel like I'm as forward with keeping my friendships as I could be.
Your part of the bargain is not being upheld.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's been something that's been an issue for me for a long, long time. And it's just something I've been noticing recently that I don't like.
I do want to say though, birthdays.
Yeah.
You kind of get a pass because everyone is reaching out on your birthday, and some of them might be more meaningful than others. But like, I think when you send someone a birthday text, if you don't hear anything back, the general rule is like,
also, thank God for social media now in that space. Because as soon as someone reposts a happy birthday, I go, oh, I'm jumping on that bandwagon.
Totally.
Because I have not written down, I mean, unfortunately, and this is probably bad, but like I have never, other than like a Google Calendar, I only have like a finite of people in my brain of what the birthdays are.
I have like my family and then my children.
And a few years ago, I actually took my birth date out of Facebook. Because it was like, I just got to a point where I'm like, there's all these people, we interact once a year on my birthday, and I went to high school with them, and it's just like, and that was a long time ago now.
Who needs the pressure?
And I'm just like, why do they want to say, this is just not, this doesn't feel good. And once I did that, I was like, oh, this is kind of great. But then I'm like, oh, why isn't anyone texting me on my birthday?
Right. Where are my 800 birthday
messages? Because everyone forgets because they don't have their Google Calendar of birthdays like I do. So on the other side, I don't always text my friends on their birthday. So, so anyway, that's my confession.
Communication is so weird anyway. Like, we have so many little rules about it, but no one talks about the rules. And then like you get bent out of shape about tone, or you get like, someone doesn't text you back for a week and you assume the worst. I do, they hate me now or whatever. It's like, I do that shit all the time. I leave a friend unread for like 2 months. You know what I mean? I'm like, I love you, dude. I just, I forgot to write back.
It's not as personal as like a phone call or a letter or an email. I mean, emails can sometimes be more personal than text messages, for sure. But because it is just so like quick, like sometimes, you are there and active, and then other times it's like, put this thing on do not disturb. Like there are 10 things on this phone that I don't want to be looking at right now, and like trying to respond to that text might not be the best thing for me right now.
Right.
It's funny. I do try to, phone calls are like, I remember when texting was like a new thing. I was like, I'm never going to fucking text. All I do is text.
Yeah.
I just stopped phoning people. I just don't like phoning people. But the only time I do is when it's to lend support for a tragedy. Or a death, which is really weird. Like, that's when I'm like, I'm not going to leave this via text. I'm going to call this person, even if it's uncomfortable, and just be like, hey, man, if you need anything, I'm here. But why does it have to be a death or a tragedy for me to pick up the phone and call? And then I call people in the program every once in a while. That's kind of a thing, like pick up the 1,000-pound phone and call your sponsor. But okay, Logan,
Yeah, well, let's see. I'll go for the funny confession,
Sure,
and then
sure.
I'll go for the real confession.
We'll get a double one.
We get a
all right?
two-fer.
Yeah, double whammy.
Yeah.
All right, going back to tattoos, the first idea I ever had on getting a tattoo, I'm 18 years old. I have free will now. I can do whatever I want. Sunny Los Angeles, let's go to a tattoo parlor. Who do I want to get on my back? Jim Morrison, the Lizard King. Yes.
Whoa.
The most degenerate rock star of all time. Like, looking back on like my love for Jim Morrison was like, oh, you like the guy that came in that was like, I'll eat another Whopper. I'm a drunk asshole. But I mean, come on, we love Jim Morrison.
Morrison,
We love
of course.
yours.
Yeah.
But for him to be on my back,
Is
for
he?
the no, he's
Okay,
not.
okay.
So
so you didn't get it.
I have this thing in the back of my head that says maybe you shouldn't, and then I didn't. Thank God. The next one was to get the Shepherd Ferry Obey sign also on my back.
Yeah.
Also didn't do that.
Didn't do that. Good.
Have a lot of other bad ones.
Yeah.
And then the real confession is I couldn't go to sleep last night.
Whoa.
Yeah, anxiety.
About this?
This, but like a lot of other things happening too. And I'm just coming back from like a bunch of different jobs, and I was like, all right, now I'm gonna get healthy again, get on the right path and everything. And then Logan drank too much this weekend, and then it caused a spiral.
Anxiety.
And
Dude,
today has been like a eye-opening thing where I'm like, and I know you talk about this a lot, but it's like, maybe it's time to cut it back.
Hey, man, right. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
And I do, again, like I said, like I have this thing inside me that says stop. So I have that power.
Right.
But I mean, it's still hard. No matter
Sure.
what.
You
Of course.
override the messaging.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Well, thank you for that confession. Tattoos, man.
Yeah.
I have a lot of friends who did not have that message and ended up with like the zigzag man on their fucking shoulders, or like just like the worst tattoo. So good for you for not getting Jimmy. Or the Obey sign.
I mean, I still have, a luau pig.
Yeah.
I have,
I like that
this
guy.
Don Hertzfeld tattoo.
Yeah.
But I do have the background art of the Eric Andre show on my arm. I mean, my leg.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see, man.
So sorry, Eric.
Oh,
but
yeah. Yeah.
No, I did this, and I have met him a couple times, and I've never told him. But now it's public.
Now it's public,
on
That
the
sign
internet,
has
so,
seen some.
yeah.
It's been damaged through the years.
Yeah,
That
I mean,
artwork.
when that show came out, I was just like so in the heat of everything Adult Swim, and I was trying to make my own Adult Swim show at that time too, and I was just like, this is everything.
That show floored me.
I want to hurdle my own body onto every set too.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, that show floored
it was
me,
all
man.
out of love.
Yeah. Well, good. Homage to you, Eric. I met Eric a couple times.
Yeah.
What a lovely guy, man.
Yeah,
Like,
no, he's great.
Not totally what you expect, right? Like, yeah. Okay, so I don't want to gloss over your real confession either.
Right.
I've said on the show that my real rock bottom was almost dying in South Africa when we were shooting.
I know,
And
and I texted
reached
you
out. You're like, dude, why didn't you tell me
because
that?
I feel like that was like the first clip that I saw of the podcast too.
Yeah, it probably was. I think it was like we were putting out like a little bit of like a baity thing where it was like, hey man, I like almost died. I hadn't really told a lot of people that.
Yeah.
But that was like one of those moments in my life where you wake up the next morning and it's we came to work hungover all the time. I mean, I should say
because all you had to do was, I mean, this was 3 months of you going, shut the fuck.
or just standing in the background, kind of looking a little bit panicked, and then going and sitting in a chair.
They had my
Sounds like a hard
they
job.
had my character smoking in the movie, and they said to me, oh, bring a carton of your favorites. I was smoking real cigarettes on that entire shoot.
Yeah.
Like, that's fucking crazy.
South
That's African
man.
rules.
But that's the thing, though. It felt wild, man. Like we were on the other side of the fucking planet. I had my children. I had just had my third child. Like life in LA was not what I wanted it to be at the time. I didn't know if I was fucking miserable. And then we went to South Africa, and I knew going there, I was like, I'm going to destroy myself. I'm going to destroy myself. I'm going to use this movie, which I didn't give a shit about. Retroactively, I do. I give a lot of shits about that movie now. I'm actually pretty proud of it.
Yeah.
I think we did a lot of crazy work in that movie that was not on the paper, and we all pulled it out of our
no one
asses.
suspected it to be what it is.
And you're so good in it, and it ended up being like a cool movie. But at the time, I was like, oh, this is an excuse to go and destroy myself.
Yeah.
And they gave us these beautiful condos on the VA waterfront and,
Yeah.
and like per diem. And I just like every day after work, I go buy a bottle of vodka and I would just drink the whole thing, man.
Holy shit.
Like I'm talking about like a.
Because
like
I came to yours and you were making a pretty nice bolognese.
Yeah.
But I did not see the whole bottle of vodka.
I was probably already like halfway through the
Yeah,
bottle, but
yeah.
I also would just like go. There was a bar downstairs. I would
yeah.
just go down there and just drink by myself and smoke.
Well, the
cigs
drinking
and,
rules there too are like, I'd say equivalent to like Ireland, where they're
Yeah.
like, oh, it's water.
Yeah, absolutely. It's
you
like cheaper than water. It's
Yeah.
yeah. We went to this like rum bar in
Yeah. Well, where there was the gin bar.
the gin
Yeah.
bar. So hammered by that point. I remember I like slapped Nick and he was like, "Don't ever do that, man." And I was like horse playing with him and he was just like, "Don't." And I was like, "I'm gonna go," and I walked home through what's it called, Cliff Town.
Yeah.
It's an area of South Africa.
I'm not going to say it because I'm going to bastardize it.
It was
so-
like we were told very early on, like just be careful.
Right,
Be careful
right,
where
yeah.
you are by yourself. Be
Be
careful
buddy
where you walk by
systems,
yourself.
yeah.
And I wandered home by myself and went to a like a little bodega to buy cigarettes and pulled out my wallet and it was just packed with
with the per diem. Yeah,
and
yeah.
these dudes that were in the store
Well, and a
saw
South
it.
African rand. I
Yeah.
mean, when this is back when they
Colorful.
gave you envelopes
Yeah.
of per diem, so you get this thing that looks like a criminal amount of
Yeah.
money.
We had
But-
stacks of rand.
Yeah.
Like I would open
Yeah.
my drawer and be like, I'll just take out 40,000 rand or whatever, because it's not as valuable.
yeah.
But anyway,
Yeah, I
and
got
these
it.
guys, they've had a whole setup-y sting routine, and they just started to follow me, and I started to run. And
Yeah.
I panicked, and I ran to that church that had
the jazz
the
bar
jazz
in
bar
the
in the
back, yeah.
basement, because it's the only place I knew. And I just like fell down the stairs into the church basement and fell asleep leaning against the door. Passed out, hoping that they weren't going to come in and kill me. And that I woke up, I still drank the whole time I was there. But
Yeah.
coming home after that, I was like, I am a fucking alcoholic, man. Like that is,
Right,
I almost died. And that wasn't the only time I almost died in South Africa from drinking. And I have 3 children, you know, and I was
Right,
like, okay,
right.
this is
Yeah.
fucking baloney.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's crazy because I went there again and had
Yeah.
a whole other
Shot at another one,
experience
yeah.
that, you know, I'm probably not going to bring up here, but like nonetheless.
Please do.
You can
We
if
can
you
have
want.
another confession.
You know, there was some locals that I got really close with, and you know, one of my friends told me that there is kind of this like energy vortex that is with Cape Town specifically because of Table Mountain.
Right.
And,
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
I mean, it's very, very closely related to like Sedona in that way.
Mm-hmm,
And so I think that like, if you're not centered, like that place is going to challenge the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Because it's also like, I mean, the rules there are so crazy. I mean, the government there is so wild. And it's just kind of like, for that time that we were there shooting it, it was almost kind of like we could get away with anything.
Yeah.
And, you know, that inherently is extremely dangerous.
We had drivers on call whenever we wanted.
Yeah.
Basically, our work was not that challenging, you know, on a day-to-day basis. We had some challenging days, but a lot of it was just background work.
Yeah,
Man,
yeah.
It was a recipe for a disaster for me. And I know the energy there, because we live in Ojai, which is another energy vortex in North America. It's one of the biggest. And I am, it turns out, very susceptible to that kind of energy. So, man, as soon as I got to the VA, I was just like, yep. And it was just game on.
Yeah.
But so you had mentioned you think it might be, and I don't want, we don't want to talk about you getting sober, but like you feel like you're just sort of at a place in your life. How old are you now? Like 30?
33.
33.
Yeah.
God year. It's your
God
Jesus
years,
Your
my
Jesus year.
Jesus year. Yeah. Don't
do
want to be
you-
crucified like him. I don't know where the journey is. I think that it's the knowing, being so aware now that it's been like a couple of years of excess. I mean, you know, pandemic and strike kind of catapulted my career into a tailspin a little bit.
Yeah.
I have been building that back up for the last like 2 years now, which, you know, this year has been very fruitful and like I'm very grateful for where I am now. But it was those pandemic and strike habits that are kind of now I'm, you know, realizing, it's time to like really hit the grindstone and maybe like
Tighten it up a
push
little.
this back a
Well,
little
they're
bit.
like, those habits you built when there was nothing happening are probably getting in the way of
Yeah.
getting back in the saddle, right?
Yeah. And like, you know, I mean, I definitely know that I have like the willpower to work things out with myself, but like, you know, I only can do so much as well. So I don't know. It's just like, it was something that like stirred up the last couple of days.
Yeah,
where
man.
I was like, things were good. And then I was like, oh, you know, I'm single back in LA again, and we went to parties, and it's like, why? I was watching the Charlie Sheen documentary.
Me too, dude.
I had like 4 beers, and it made me feel bad. I was like, he's literally like doing the worst shit ever, and you're like, yeah, I'll watch this.
He's out there doing the work for you, right? He's like, don't do this. And you're like, well.
I'm like, the crack rock for the first time while getting a blowjob. And I'm like, well, maybe another beer. You know, it's not like bottle of vodka in the morning or anything, but it's just like this, you know, we're getting older, and it's like, I just want to be alive as long as I can. And unfortunately, like, that's like the only thing I do bad is like drink and like throw in Zins. I quit smoking like 2 years ago, but then I did another nicotine thing. So
nicotine turns out it's not
like
that bad.
I have like one vice, but that one vice is really bad too.
And that's a trippy thing about getting sober, man. It's like, you're like, oh, I have this vice. I'm going to eradicate the vice. Everything will be good. Holy shit, I can turn anything into a vice. Everything. Anything and everything. So it's not, the journey doesn't stop with the alcohol. It's like, oh, fuck, man. I am a consumption
Hellman's
machine.
mayonnaise.
Oh, my God. Well, Dukes. I'm a Dukes guy. Or Cupie, maybe.
Sure.
Yeah. But, man, any fucking thing I can turn into a vice. I wanted to ask you something. You said like you sort of felt your career. I know we met up when we were both in the middle of like a holy shit. What the fuck is happening? You have been directing and creating your own content, right? And the Demolition Derby movie, and like, how's all that stuff coming along, man?
I mean, we're in the process of making this Demolition Derby movie right now. Me and my writing partner, Will Humans. There was a time where we were going to direct it. Now I think we're just going to be writers and producers on it, because the movie has gotten to a bigger scale than we had once imagined.
That's good.
Which is great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's like something that's like in the works right now, that's down the pipe. That movie is called Demo. We're kind of hoping that it would be more of our like true romance or natural born killers that kind of catapults us into then
make whatever the fuck you want.
The energy is around with that kind of subject matter. I think a lot of people want to find something in like a niche category that's also like prevalent to like Midwestern stories and people that are kind of
relationship dynamics in like a fucking crazy world, right?
And I mean, that was something that I grew up going to at every carnival and what have you. And where the national championship of Demolition Derby is in Topeka, Kansas, and both my parents are from Kansas.
Oh shit, I know that.
And Salina.
Yeah.
All the writing on the wall was just like, let's try to like make this a thing. Like let's do for Demolition Derby what roller derby got for like Whip It.
Right. Yeah.
And so I mean, it's been a long journey and it's gone in so many different directions, but now it's getting to the right hands, and I think it's going to be really big, and announcements coming soon. But
sweet.
Yeah, it's like I've got that and like all these other little things down the pipe. While also, I've now made 3 indies this year. I have this other studio movie that I did 3 years ago that's going to come out in February.
That's so trippy,
2
right?
TV shows this year.
Nice.
So, it's great.
It's a lot.
Like, hey, if it was 1995, I'd be a millionaire. But it's 2025.
I'm a thousand. So many thousands.
Yeah. But, when the strikes and pandemic happened, I think a choice group of people got their moment in the sun, and, Escape Room 2 came out like at the end of the pandemic, and it did fine and fair, but it did nothing, nowhere of like the first one. My priorities are just like, I want to work with cool people. I want to try to get involved with everybody. I want to be embedded in my community as much as possible. I'm literally like taking every like short film job I can. I'm saying yes to like these strange movies in Mojave City. And like, I'm just like, I'm literally like pulling every opportunity someone's giving me. I'm just taking it and saying like, yes, let's do this.
Yeah.
Because like, we don't even know if we can do this anymore.
Yeah.
And so I was like, why not accumulate as many people as possible? And because of that, it's been fruitful. And like, the 3 movies I've done this year, I'm very proud of. They're all very different, but with cool filmmakers, and hopefully Festival runs it, and we'll see. But, in the meantime, I've got my Chicago med and a
Oh, yeah,
little
you
bit
did
of a
Chicago
Duffer
Med,
Brothers
huh?
show. So
Nice.
yeah.
We haven't really talked about this, but like we did a little bit. You were sort of like a Disney kid, right? Like you kind of came from the Disney pile.
Yeah.
And then and kind of clawed your way out of that
Oh.
to get some real cred, right? Like,
Yeah, in a way. I mean, you know, I was on a show called I'm in the Band. It was on Disney XD. So Disney says, listen, we're losing the boys to Nickelodeon. We need to make our own boys network.
Okay.
They had a second channel and they decided to change it to Disney XD.
Yeah.
Extreme Disney.
Extreme Disney. Yeah.
it was very extreme.
Yeah, we're like, oh, Disney After Dark or something more like that. But we were one of two of the first shows that they had on that. It was a show called Zeke and Luther, and then our show, which was a live action cartoon of these 80s rockers in this band called Iron Weasel. And, you know, they're going on radio shows to get fans to make them dinner. And I call, and I'm this prodigy guitar player, Trip Campbell.
Nice.
Playing a
there you are.
there we are. Yeah. Playing a shitty BC Rich, and I have dyed black hair, and then they flat ironed me
Kind of put
for
my
some
glasses
reason.
on for this, old man.
Wait, I don't even know which one are you?
right there.
I'm the one in the middle. I'm
okay,
that,
yeah,
I'm that
okay,
little sweet lesbian looking type.
How old are you here?
17,
17, yeah.
17, 18, yeah. The show was great because I had a wonderful group around me of character actors who essentially were like, hey man, don't expect anything from this business.
Right, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
we're 40 something, we got kids, and we're on a Disney show too. So
Yeah.
they like kind of,
Right.
they were
Looking at
like,
it, yeah.
yeah. Like,
is best
you
case
know,
scenario.
this is as lateral move as we can get. But like, we had so much fun together, and it was a really great group, and that was what I needed to kind of have a home base, if you will. I mean, my whole family was involved with that show too, and like, you know, around.
Well, you were still underage at the time. You were still.
Yeah. Well, and I took the high school proficiency exam, so I tested out of school
Oh,
so I
yeah,
could
yeah.
work adult hours. But, you know, like as soon as my 18th birthday hit, I was like, Mom and Dad, like, let me do this by myself.
Get out of here. Yeah.
And they, you know, trusted everybody that was on that show, and
Yeah,
so
to
I
guide
think that
you.
they felt more comfortable about that.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of things are happening in this Disney world. They sat us all down at Buena Vista Studios, and they had a Disney 101 because this is like right at the peak of like. Now the internet's coming in, and like things are leaking, and
Right,
you know,
right,
people
right.
are smoking weed on videos, and it's getting sold to TMZ.
People have cameras in
and
their
stuff.
phones.
And so they made the like craziest seminar where they have this guy come in with like a greasy white shirt, and he's like, I'm an internet predator. Oh no, all of your screen names.
It's like a bad high school.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
dude.
And so like I'm sitting there being like, this is the funniest shit I've ever seen. But like, you know, they were really worried about it because it was happening, and
Yeah.
that wasn't really what I, you know, got into the industry to do. I was like, I just want to make like comedy. I want to, you know, do like
sure.
as much fun things as possible. It wasn't really like about the whole fame thing. And then, you know, fortunately for us, nobody watched our show except Brazilians.
Shouts to Brazilians, man. I have so many Brazilian
I will
fan
come
sites.
soon, I
Yeah.
promise. Yeah, you know, it just didn't have the levity as some of these other shows. And so it was a nice like start in the industry, give me a base financially, and then the show ends, and you know, I don't want to be on Disney anymore, and I'm also worried about like at that time, you know, it wasn't as like sought after. Like sometimes people would be on children's programming, and then they kind of get pigeonholed into that.
Right.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
it's not like the Zendaya effect.
It was
right
like the
now,
WB
you know?
back in the day. It was like you would catapult.
Exactly.
And then get stuck.
Yeah. And so, you know, I was definitely worried about that. And the last thing I had to do for Disney was a thing called Friends for Change Games, where they got every Disney Channel kid to a camp in the Simi Valley where we played these like Survivor-esque games.
Friends for Change games. Oh
For
my
charity
God.
money for certain organizations. But I mean, you know, I'll be honest, it was all rigged. Like it was all
Oh,
scripted.
whoa,
dude.
Like all of the producers were like people from like The Bachelor and what have you.
All
Like,
actors, yeah.
You know, they're asking me, like, I'm so over it. And they're like, hey, Logan, so who are you crushing on set? And I was 18 at the time. And I was like, well, everyone here is like about 13 years old. So that'd probably be illegal. They're like, Logan, can you just give us something?
man.
And I was like, fine. Bridget Mendler is my babe. I want to be with her. And then that's what ends up on
That ended up
the
being a
show.
thing. Oh my god.
Like that was like the first time I ever cried about my career because I was like, it's over. I'm in a yellow jumpsuit. Like no one's gonna take me seriously. But I was just the beginning, and it was like from there I started doing indie movies, and then that snowballed into studio features, and then like the mid-20s was like a really really great time. Like I was doing Paramount, DreamWorks movies, what have you, and then I guess the peak like of success of film was probably like Escape Room is probably my most successful, at least like as far as like being the lead of that.
And the success of it that no one anticipated. It was just like, boom.
You know, I mean, we're making a $9 million horror film that I feel like no one will probably give a shit about, but like, you know, it had hit the zeitgeist of that like kind of relevancy of like what escape rooms were for that time. And
so bizarre.
wish we could have had you on the second one, but you might be dead.
Yeah, I think, who knows? I could be. Maybe it would have been the third one.
Unfortunately, I don't think they're making a third.
I came to the second one. You remember you invited me and my partner in New York. We came to watch the second one.
Oh, right.
I came out and watched it, and we were just like, ooh.
Yeah.
Good sets.
I got my like subway running.
Yeah. You had some cool shit.
I got my
in there.
Harrison Ford like fugitive thing. That was kind of fun.
A lot of people have been coming up to me and telling me I smell good. I mean, I've had that happen throughout my life, but lately it's because of the Bearded Brotherhood, because I've been wearing the cologne. I got the Woodsman here, and I know Bearded Brotherhood is all about beards, but I'm not a bearded guy. So I'm going to take the opportunity to talk about the other stuff Bearded Brotherhood has, which I've been rocking the cologne. And of course they have bearded oils, beard balms, all this stuff. Tyler's been doing it for years. He loves all the products. I, again, may grow a beard sometime just to use the stuff. And so I want our listeners to be able to get in on this. And so we have a code ILYSM15, and you can go to thebeardedbrotherhood.co. Use that code. You can use it over and over and over again for 15% off your order. Check them out, of course, on Instagram as well. They're the.beardedbrotherhood. So that's thebeardedbrotherhood.co, code ILYSM15. You know, one of my favorite websites on the internet right now is patreon.com/ILYSMpod, because it's where our love bugs hang out. Oh, I love our love bugs. They are the supporters of this show. I got to be honest with you. We need the support. We love the support. So you can connect with us. You can connect with other listeners of the show. There's discussions going on. We're having behind the scenes content. We have ad-free episodes, so you don't have to listen to any more of these Patreon ads if you're in our Patreon. Tyler's Tuesday Tales. We got playlists. So get in there. Patreon.com/ILYSMpod.
I don't know if you're okay with talking about this, but like what you went through a pretty big breakup recently, right? Did you have a? I feel like it was kind of public, or people kind of talked about it a little bit. Was that like? I want to know what that was like for you. If it made you feel like.
Look, I think that when you're in the industry, you're going to end up dating people that are in the public eye. You're going to end up dating people that are not. And then you fall in love with a key grip, because they have such beautiful eyes. I mean, you know, it's troubling, but like that was a time that, you know, she was kind of getting a show underway, and that was taking up her time. And, you know, I'm doing this reshaping. And so it was really kind of like a healthy, amicable thing that, you know, no like ill will or like there was some kind of like catastrophic blow up or anything. I think it was
They're so good. It makes for great entertainment.
And if it was, I'm gonna leave that for the Anderson Cooper interview. No, but like you know, I think that we're all just trying to do the best that we can, and that like, you know, was I think one of the best relationships that was of my life. And it's like, you know, so seeing things kind of the way that they are now, so, yeah, sometimes it hurts, it's hard, but you know, I think that like like the history books of everything in the industry. It's like, you know, people, we only know about it because, you know, you know
because
who these
it was
people
made
are.
public. Yeah, of course, I know.
Yeah. I was thankful to have like another great relationship after that too, and you know, now I'm single and
You
kind
just
of
said,
doing my
single
own
in
thing.
LA again.
Yeah, back to Satan's hell pit Raya. Hey, I fucking relationships, am I right? Yeah, but you know, I haven't gotten the chance to marry anybody yet, so I know that's,
you can make that chance.
I could.
You're still young, man.
I know.
Yeah.
Come on, 2 weeks in, like, I'll just put a bunch of marriage proposals on dating apps and see what happens.
I think that's
like,
that'd be like a cool way to abuse the dating app technology. Just use it strictly to find a wife, not
it's interesting because like everybody that's in my friend group, I have maybe 2 married couples and they're like the best, but they took so long to like figure it out. You know, that was an 8-year relationship that then turned into a marriage and now they have this beautiful baby and like it's awesome, like poster child of like what I would want in a relationship too. I'm thankful that I still have parents that are married and like
your parents are married. Oh
shit.
Oh,
I have like a really great foundation. You know, I mean, my mom's working at a retirement home. My dad's selling Campbell's soup to the Midwest.
Nice.
So,
All right.
you know,
some Campbell's soup.
Yeah. I guess I would want to be as certain. Like, before I did it.
Oh yeah, there's never a rush, man. Like I took 10 years to marry my ex-wife. But you know, it turned out it wasn't enough time. What's your relationship like with your parents, man? Like, are you close with your parents, with both of them? Or are you like?
Yeah. I mean, I just spoke to my mom today as I was like, I'm hungover and sad and I don't know what I'm doing. But I mean, they're great. You know, I see them pretty often.
They're in
they're in Texas.
They're in Texas.
Dallas,
Okay.
Texas. Yeah. You know, we just celebrated my father's 60th, which is like crazy because that's young. For like,
right. Well, I was like, his kid is 33. Okay, I'm just doing the math.
Well, you know, they you know would do they did the young thing.
My parents did too, man. They were married after 4 months of marriage and then had their first kid a year in.
Yeah, they moved to Colorado. My dad was like working at like a ski rental shop. My mom was working at the like emergency hospital there, and then this guy popped out.
Yeah. Are you the only child?
I was told that I was conceived in the backyard in a tent.
Oh, nice.
All right.
So that's cool.
That's why you're such
Mom
a
and
rascal.
Dad decided to buy the tent and then test it out.
Right. They're in their own backyard.
Yeah.
That's
Come
hot.
on.
That's hot.
Hey, it's private property. We can do whatever we want.
It is. It's funny. Like my parents were really young too, and I'm looking at like because you're 33, your dad's 60, and that seems like also young to me. But
He's like
when
my
when I
age.
was 33, my dad wasn't even 60. I don't think.
Yeah. Oh wow.
I couldn't even imagine. Like I had my first kid at 32. I'm married at just past 30.
Yeah.
People who had babies. When
No,
they're
that's
in
crazy.
their
No, because I have
20s and 20s.
No, because I have people I went to high school with in my graduating class who have grandkids the same age as my daughter. So
well, and I mean, a lot of it is like in my mind, I'm like, well, I don't want to do that until I'm stable.
Yeah,
but
sure.
No one is stable when they have children.
And there's no. And that's the funny thing. There's no perfect time.
Yeah.
There's never a
disavow
perfect time.
that.
Yeah. I mean, we were living like across the street from this cornfield, and when I was maybe 2 or 3, my dad was like, we're gonna go pick corn and we're gonna make it for dinner, and then like, you know, taking the stroller and just like pulling me through like the
cornfields?
rubble, the cornfield
hilarious.
in the dark, and we eat the corn, and as soon as we take a bite of it, everyone like vomits it out because it's corn for like feed
corn.
not like
Right,
for like human consumption. You know? So it was like they were just trying to figure it out too. And I mean, you know, the support and the love was there, and so that's like the best part of it all. But like, and I think that that's the foundation of like, you know, it doesn't, you know, need $1 million to make sure a child is stable.
No, not
I
at
mean,
all,
it helps for schooling, I'm sure. But, like,
but it's gotta be, it's crazy thinking about like
now?
having a 5-year-old and you being like 22.
Yeah, dude.
That's like
yeah. Well, my
crazy.
friend Odessa had her first kid when she was 17 or 18, and we all ended up like raising her together. You know what I mean? Like she had this huge community of like 18, 19-year-olds who are like babysitting, looking out for her, and like she's great, but like that's not ideal. Being raised by like 10, 19-year-old kids,
10
you know,
feral.
like
The
just
Manson
all
family
fun
did it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it turned out great.
Well, it could have been different, you know, back in the old days when it was like, well, at 18, 19, you're buckling down and you're all starting families together and getting to work.
It's
And
just getting wilder
well, I know
and
that's
wilder.
the thing is, if it's like with a bunch of your kids' degenerate friends, maybe it's not
Yeah.
so great.
We were all very much so degenerate friends. But
Yeah, I've
I
heard
get-
the stories.
Yeah.
I guess
know.
it's just because that like when, and I'm sure you probably felt the same way when you come out to like LA and you meet a group of artists. I don't think that their number one priority is like, oh, well, we're gonna have kids soon.
Yeah. Oh my God, no.
You know.
And your parents left when you were 18. You were like, take a hike. Yeah, I moved to LA, moved to the Sunset Strip right behind Mel's Diner when I was 19.
Oh my
Went
God.
from Vancouver to
Yeah.
Sunset. Had a TV show on
What
the
year
CW.
was that?
2000.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
great. Yeah.
And just like, I mean, what a fucking wild place to be at that age, man. Have money, be
Yeah.
that age. Like, it was just a recipe for fucking disaster.
Yeah,
But like, I had a
and then you're on the
blast, man.
Sunset Strip,
Yeah,
you know, Viper
living there,
Room
dude.
and Whiskey Go Go.
Oh my God, the fuck on the rocks and fucking
Sunset Tower. Or
yeah, but
like,
the Rainbow Room.
Rainbow
we used to go to the
Room.
Rainbow Room
Yeah,
and like
yeah.
slash there and like.
yeah.
But dude, like, so you were 18 as well when that you were like, and I'm talking about like meeting a group of friends and shit. Like I found my core group of friends. None of us had any long-term plans. We were just like, hey man,
Yeah.
And we just fucking tore it up all the time and made our own shit and recorded music and like.
Well, and we did a lot of that too. You know, when I was here, I was like, well, I have a responsibility to be the lead of a show. So that was like my stable space. And then like, you know, the older guys on the show were like, don't fuck this up. Like,
right.
And nor did I want to.
Yeah.
And my best friend, still to this day, Thomas Mann, he moved in with me. And then we started kind of, you know, working hand in hand, and like he booked this movie Project X that became the party movie of like the early 2000s, and like so then that became our group, and then you know Thomas met like this other guy Keir, who was like a close friend of ours, and then we met all of these like Canadian actors. Yeah,
I know Keir.
We met all of these Canadian actors, and so then we started hanging out with all of them, and like
Canadians.
one by one,
Yeah.
it all kind of accumulated, and then we did have a pretty like tight knit group for a long time, and nothing ever too crazy other than like going to hardcore shows, just drinking a lot, and like weed smoke like no other.
we used to
but-
fucking go climb up and hike to the Hollywood sign and like sit
Yeah.
on the fucking Hollywood sign and like chug bottles of champagne and shit. Like it was
Well, yeah,
wild.
and we would do something similar to that. I mean, there was this undeveloped area in Silver Lake, and we would all just get bottles of booze, go up there, and then I made my first like spec pilot for Adult Swim that made no sense whatsoever.
Right. Yeah.
It was called Jeremiah's Fort, and the character was the son of Tara Reid and Satan. Yeah. You know, I knew that, but like that wasn't conveyed in the pilot at all. Like, so I was just like, oh, well, now I have an opportunity that I got all these people that have like relevancy and like the entertainment industry, and like they're all my friends. So we could just do that all the time. It wasn't like a lot of club stuff or anything. It was just like kind of, and I always feel like that's a section of LA I could have dove into, but like the house parties and the people that you meet and these things are such more vibrant. I come to
fucking
find
hated
like,
the club scene, but we were in it. Like I knew like the main promoter, Sarah Pantera. What's up, Hoff?
What's up?
And I was running around with Ryan Gosling and like and
Yeah.
Suplee and those guys, and like anywhere we wanted to go, they were just like, "Come on in, man." And I fucking hated it. Just like the idea that the only thing to do is drink, right? You can't communicate. I didn't really want to dance. Maybe I did a little bit. Maybe I like to shake it a bit. But like just screaming over music and always trying to get it. I was like, you want to go back and party at my house? Like that was all I ever wanted to do.
Right.
And it was just such a shit scene, man.
It was just and
like,
then probably lots of cocaine.
oh, lots of cocaine. Yeah, the first time I did cocaine was at a bar in LA. They had like, I remember when I first moved here, everyone was wearing like pleather or leather pants, and at the bars they would have brandy snifters of cut straws.
Wow.
And you would just be like, hey man, can I get a bump or whatever? And the bartender would often have it, or you go in the bathroom and anybody in there just have Coke. And you just like go grab a straw from the fucking counter, the bar, and just do Coke anywhere. It was insane, man.
That's the one I've still never done.
It's stupid.
Well, I'm like
No
way
desire.
too loud
No.
and high energy. I'm
Right.
like, everyone's gonna fucking hate me. But then everyone was like, well, wait, that could actually be really interesting. I'd see a one-man show of you just like Logan live on cocaine at the Elysian Theater.
That's what I was like on
maybe
coke. It was
once.
like it was like a fucking spectacle. Like I would just like everyone was just like they would wind me up and watch me go. Same with like ecstasy, any of that shit. Anytime I did hard drugs, my friends were like, okay, stand back.
Yeah.
Just watch this shit. But
yeah,
man, cocaine, LA, leather pants, all that stuff moving here was like every trapping, all the cliches that everybody warned me about. Everyone was like, when you move to LA, don't buy leather pants. I was like, I'm not gonna buy leather pants. I did.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna end up doing cocaine in LA. I was like, no, I'll never fucking do cocaine. I ended up doing cocaine in LA.
Yeah.
Oh no, the first time I did cocaine was at Devin Sawa's
I
apartment.
almost called you out on that. I almost called you out on
Well,
that.
the first time I did cocaine in LA was
That's
in
what
a
I thought.
bar.
Yeah,
I think it was
you need the
Brown
qualifier
Derby
there.
or the
Yeah,
fucking-
because you're already telling
yeah.
stories on here about.
No,
all
it was at
your-
Cheetahs. I was at Cheetahs. I did cocaine for the first time.
Yeah.
Yeah, LA was such a like for me coming from Vancouver, LA was like. First of all, I was like, "This is LA. Like, it doesn't look anything like Beverly Hills Cop."
Right.
I was like, "Where's all the fancy shit?" It's like everything is 3 stories high. And
Where's the
fucking boring.
apartment from 90210?
Yeah, man, none of it made sense to me. And then I'm living on Sunset Strip, and it just like, then it all started to kind of come into focus. I was like, oh, that's what is cool about this town is like, it isn't totally what people see, and it's like kind of dirty and grimy and like, you know.
I mean, I've lived here for 16 years now, and it's like, I mean, I love it. I mean, it's a love-hate relationship, but
It
like,
is for
you know,
everybody, right?
I always say that, like, you know, we're all in abusive relationships, and it's with the entertainment industry.
We just, dude, this comes up so often. Like, it's like a never-ending battle to get your father's approval.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, your dad loves you. You're doing great. You're doing great.
yeah.
And then, you know, you fucking not doing so great. And Dad's
Right.
disappointed. Dad won't let you back in the house. You know,
but
like,
Dad thinks you're cool for a while because this thing's about to come out, but guess what? That movie bombed.
yeah, Dad's like, I thought I was going to make a bunch of money off of you, but it turns out you're a flop.
But like, there's so many different pockets, and like, I'm obsessed with like LA history, and you know, unfortunately, we're in a space right now where all of that's getting dismantled. Thank you, land developers. But
What's your favorite like historical elements about LA? Like, people don't talk about this shit. Everyone's like tacos. Old
I like
Pasadena.
tacos.
Yeah,
I like tacos.
too.
I like tacos.
I mean, the fascinating thing about this place, and there's like this documentary called Los Angeles Plays Itself, but it's like there's a constant recycling happening because the city itself doesn't necessarily have an identity because the identity is the movies that it was portrayed by time and time again.
Yeah, it's kind of whatever is sort of the color of the moment for LA is like that town becomes that. Now we're
and so like, you know, I mean, we're in a homeless crisis where like land developing is happening like exponentially like after these terrible fires have happened. But like,
and the real
you know,
estate bubble
then there's
is-
certain things that I look at it and I'm like, all right, well, that's an iconic like historic piece of just like LA brilliance, and it's like that those twin tower buildings that are over by crypto.com are being built up, and then the land developer
KB,
lost his money. Every street artist in Los Angeles made it their own canvas, and it's still there to this day. I was like, well, that's Los Angeles.
Or you see like the first time you see Randy's Donuts, or like in Venice the big Lloyd Wright binoculars or whatever, and you're like, Jesus Christ, I've seen this imagery my whole life, but no one ever equates it to like culture or like history of LA. It's just kind of like,
or like the Ennis House or the Hollywood Bowl. Like,
dude,
you know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's those things where it's like, okay, well, like these can't be replaced. They're so amazing in what they are, and like I would love to see it like continue to be maintained in a way that like New York City would be, but like it's such a sprawling like space that it is hard to do that.
It's not the sort of planning that would require is so vast, right? Compared to like, I mean, I know Manhattan's big and shit, and Brooklyn's big, but like there is a real focus on neighborhoods and shit there. LA is just like one giant.
Well, and all the stuff though is new relatively, right? So even all this historic stuff is like, well, it's 50s and 60s and 70s, and it's like it's different in New York. There's stuff that's 200-300 years old, and so it's like it's easier to get behind the historical preservation of that stuff than it is the new
I
stuff.
love being able, like, it's its own city state kind of, where it's like, well, I could just jump into a neighborhood and have a cool day there, like even Burbank, like the oddball. It's like every like prop handler lives down over here.
Yeah.
Like every stunt guy lives here. Like every man who has more than 3 Tommy Bahama shirts in his wardrobe.
Yeah, man, I feel the same way about like I love my daughter the other day. We went down to Culver. We just I took her for it's called Dan Smashburger, and it's like a fucking Thai smashburger place.
Yeah.
And then there's that old video store where the guy has all DVD and
Yes.
video, and it's right there on the corner, and then but just down the road is like this complete gentrification of Culver, right?
Yeah.
But it didn't used to be that. Like back in the day, Culver was rough, man. But there's like still some of those things standing there, like the Culver Hotel that's still there, but it's been I love that stuff, but it's like. It feels like Disneyland down there a little bit now. It is getting really like it's harder and harder to find some of the things even from when I first moved here that are still standing. Like 30 years ago, 25
when
years
I
ago.
first moved here, there was like a whole art walk in downtown, and
Right,
it
yeah,
wasn't
dude.
that crazy. And
Oh, dude, I love downtown. I mean, I did love downtown. My friend Mike chose to live at the Barclay for a while, the Barclay Hotel.
Yeah.
Which is just the scummiest fucking place on
Sure.
earth. But God, we loved it, man. We were just like dangling our legs out the window, like smoking cigarettes, all high on cocaine.
yeah. Well, one of the actors on the I'm in the Band show, 'cause I was like, I want to live in downtown, and he's like, you want to live in downtown? Like, just move to fucking New York. Like,
Yeah. Well, but Gosling moved to downtown early on in the sort of gentrification. It was even before the gentrification, and we just thought, what the fuck are you doing, man? Why are you moving to downtown LA? And he was down there, and he met all these rad people, and they all lived in these converted lofts, and it wasn't cool to be downtown yet.
Yeah.
So we were downtown a lot before it was like.
Yeah.
Became like DTLA, it was just like kind of a shit
I mean,
show.
still the Arts District is fun and all that stuff too, but like, it ebbs and flows for sure. And I think that that's just going to be the constant, like,
I think
life
if they
of Los Angeles.
actually get some public transportation going, then maybe
Yeah,
they'll
stop
be some
flirting
more-
with it, man. Like
Yeah.
get the train to the airport built.
Yeah.
Like finally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then focus on some other transportation.
Yeah.
Switching subjects.
Yeah.
Are you in therapy?
I'm not currently.
Yeah.
But during the pandemic, I was in therapy specifically for OCD, which I am diagnosed with. And then, I had a multitude of therapists here.
Yeah,
But currently, no.
Yeah. Well, Tyler and I are do it. And
we do therapy.
We do not together.
Yeah.
This is our therapy
We
together.
therapize each other.
Yeah, but we were just looking at this Reddit thread.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
like a guy was doing therapy at home, and his girlfriend walks in.
Oh, wow.
And
Yeah.
then she gets mad at him for what she heard. I just can't imagine like.
Having someone overhear your therapy
Yes,
session.
I know.
Yeah.
Well, and my daughter does therapy, and and it's at home, and so I have to put the earplugs in and everything because I don't want to hear it.
I mean, I had this almost exact scenario.
Oh, is that how you got, like, what, something was found out?
Well,
or
no,
like-
but there is an element of that with my AA journal that got read. Carrie, I love you. But there was some communication issues between the two of us. But this, early on in our separation, I got heavily into therapy, and I would just do it up in our upstairs living room, and just got listened to a couple times unbeknownst to me. And there would be these like big arguments. I didn't know where they were coming from, and then it came out like, oh, you heard, or I figured, oh, you heard me talking about some of these things in therapy.
Wow.
And you have this feeling of like, whoa, man, that's off limits. But then it's like, well, why wasn't I more careful about it? Why didn't I go somewhere a little more quiet? Or like,
Right.
also
So
maybe it's a good thing you heard me say that. And like,
Right.
you
Well,
know,
I can't articulate it to you. I had
Yeah.
to,
Yeah.
I mean, that's the thing is you're sometimes you're saying stuff in therapy because you can't say it to anybody
absolutely.
else, right?
And you're saying it in
But
a way
you should say
that
it.
is very candid, right?
Right.
And like very vulnerable. So it actually ended up being kind of a good thing.
Yeah.
Getting overheard.
During the pandemic, me, my best friend Thomas, and our other best friend Vanessa decided to get one house in Pasadena,
Yeah.
and we lived it up there.
Nice.
It was great. Yeah. We called it and the Pasadena Pussy Palace.
Hey, right on.
Just kidding, of course.
Ironically.
I was in the midst of my OCD therapy, and I had my own room with my computer and everything, and like I didn't know how thin my walls were, but like it was everything. Like, and I figured it out because they heard me like doing an audition in there too. And they were like, making fun of me the whole time because they were like, oh, the casting director was like, oh, you working on anything right now? And I was like, yeah, I'm currently on a picture. And they were like, yeah, I'm currently on a picture.
Oh, so they're like hearing verbatim what you're saying through the walls.
Yeah. So it was like everything was heard. But like, you know, those are my best friends, and it's like, oh, if something was overheard, I mean, it's OCD. It's not like, you know. My ex and I were together. She was doing therapy in the front of the house, but I didn't hear a damn thing.
Yeah, I don't want
because
to.
I was also like,
I don't want to.
like, I had this office in the back, and I was like, hey, you know, I'm gonna respect this space. So whoever did that, fuck them.
Well, and so I think, you know, unfortunately we're kind of running out of time here, but we got to
hard out notice.
Yeah, exactly. Here. So we always like to end with a little bit of gratitude, and the first gratitude is to you for Logan for coming in, and we really appreciate it.
Yeah,
and,
the same, guys.
And
I mean, you know, look at this professional podcast.
Do you have anything you need to promote or that's coming out?
Yeah, I mean, I've got some movies coming out. I have a show called oh God.
Well, what's your Instagram? People can follow your Instagram.
My
and
Instagram
I'm sure
is @Logan Miller. I'll be on a Netflix show next year called oh God, what's it called?
It's called OCD.
Well, tune in. I got a movie called Psycho Killer coming out next year.
And you'll promote all these things on your Instagram for sure. And so thank you. We also want to thank Jonathan Newman, who is on our top tier and our Patreon. We appreciate
Thank you, John.
We appreciate all of our listeners, whether you're on our Patreon or not. But go to patreon.com/ILYSM pod, and you can join in on the fun. Thank you, of course, to the whole production team. Thank you to All Things Comedy for letting us use their studio. And Tyler, thank you, my man.
Love you, buddy.
Love you too. We love you so much. Thank you.
Love you.
Thank you, Logan.